Hello, everyone, and welcome to Yvonne McBride Lit Life. This is a space that inspires women of the African diaspora to pursue their writing or travel or next life dreams. So, if you are an emerging or novice writer, please subscribe. If you are a traveler, if you love to travel, if you are a nomad roaming these international streets, or if you are a resident of the US and looking to move abroad, please subscribe. And if you are the latter, today you are in for a treat. We have Amber C. Edwards here. She is expat extraordinaire. She is a model. She is a lot of things. She is a lot of things. And we're going to introduce you to her platform, her app called Overseas with Ease. Amber, say hello to the people and introduce yourself, please, lady.
Hello, hello. How y'all doing? Happy days. I'm excited to be here. And thank you, Yvonne, for having me. I'm very excited to chat with y'all today.
Thank you for saying yes. And again, if you are looking to make the leap, if you are ready, if you have been contemplating leaving the US, especially during this time when the elections are coming up, and you are fed up, or just, you have been thinking about moving to another country for a while now, this is the place for you. We are going to get into it. Amber, tell us about Overseas with Ease, please, ma'am.
Absolutely. So, Overseas with Ease is a community that I have put in place and has been in existence for the past 4 years. So, actually, since the last election. And it's for the Black women who want to test out life abroad, but they're not sure where to go. They're not sure the pathway to get there. And oftentimes they want to do this, but they're the only person in their community that also wants to take this journey. So they find themselves going through it alone. And they know that there are other people out there who also desire this lifestyle. And so you can find them with Overseas with Ease. And in our platform, it is on an app through Mighty Networks, and you're able to connect with the other women in the course, as well as you have access to resources that can help you with the planning process, help you find housing, help you either find jobs or promote your career as well. We have experts that come in and offer their advice on different things like remote work, taxes, financials. It's truly a fully comprehensive program when it comes to relocating abroad as a Black woman from the US.
Okay, so before we get into the details and the specifics of everything, let's talk about you. Let's talk about your journey into becoming an expat and your experience living overseas. What was when did you first leave the US? Let's start there.
Well, I'm actually born on the border of Texas and Mexico. So I'm
Oh,
from
okay.
the deep, deep, deep South, Texas.
Okay.
And I've been going across, since I was a kid. And my dad's actually from the Caribbean as well. So I'm an immigrant's child, first generation American
Yes.
from the US. And so, but the first time like significant that I remember going abroad was when I was 12 and I went back to Antigua and Barbuda, which is where my dad is from.
I love
And
Antigua.
there he
Okay.
told me that I could get my passport and I could live here. And I was a little hippie back in those days. So I was like, yes, I could be a hippie, braid hair on the beach. This is home. Ah. And like that was my goal.
Right. Right. And just sell things on the beach, right?
Exactly, exactly. I'm like, I'm an artist. Whatever I'm feeling that day, we will create and sell. Um,
Yes.
and so, yeah, that was the first time I thought I could move abroad, but it was like something that I thought like I had to wait until I was old and like retired to do. I didn't think it was something that I would be able to do like in my 20s or 30s. So it was like a dream, but it was like kind of tucked away. Um, and then in 2018, I was married at the time and had the opportunity to go abroad. And 3 months later, I was gone. So we got the call in January, and in mid April, I was out. Everything was packed up. We knew
So
where we
where
were
did you
going to
end
have
up
an
leaving?
apartment.
Where did you even going?
To Doha, Qatar,
Ah, okay.
or Qatar. Um, so, and I loved it. I had a really good time. It's funny when you talk about model. That's where I actually modeled. And like, y'all, please, like, I know I look fly now, but like, I'm a nerd. Like, back in those days in 2018, especially, I was nobody's model. I'm more a person that like, I'm a creative. So like, I would run the show. Like, I love operations and like systems. And so for me to actually go and model, I was like, yeah, of course I'll do it. Like, when am I ever going to have this opportunity in the States? I'm not even tall enough in the States to be like a runway model. So,
Yes.
of course, I'm going to do it. Nobody looks like me here. So, it was cool. I had a really, really good time in Qatar.
So it opened it up. Leaving the states opened you up to new opportunities.
Exactly. I didn't even know it was available, and stuff that I've always like been interested in, but it's oversaturated. You hear in the States,
Okay.
but over there, what's oversaturated in one country may not even exist in another. So you could easily just replicate it, add your own little, sprinkling or your own seasoning to it, and now you have a whole new business to start if there's a problem that needs to be solved.
Okay. So how long were you there for?
I was there for 6 months. So, and unfortunately, it was heartbroken, but I did some really cool things. I was able to start an app that was on demand beauty services. And
Okay.
that app, I pitched it to an incubator program that the government was hosting, and I got accepted into it. So they were going to make my app and make it live because at that time, Qatar had gotten the World Cup bid. So they were giving away a lot of money to foreigners to start businesses.
Okay. All right. So once you left there, where did you end up?
I ended up in Antigua. So I made it. Yay!
Yes. The childhood dream came true.
Exactly, exactly. So we chose Antigua because my dad is from there. I was able to get my passport, and that way I didn't have to deal with being on a tourist visa. I could be
Okay.
there definitely.
Okay. So
Yeah.
is that where your when did you start working with the travel community?
That's when I moved to Antigua.
Okay. And
Yes.
and
So
what was your purpose in Antigua?
for when I moved there, I my last job before I moved abroad, I worked with the NFL Players Association,
Okay.
and I worked with retired players. So what I did was I created a program that worked with the wives and girlfriends of the athletes to help them prepare for life after sports.
Okay.
So what I wanted to do was integrate Antigua and like a vacation aspect to this like very sobering topic of like what are you going to do after you play sports.
Okay. Right.
um, so I'm like, let's put it on a vacation vibe so you can have vacation while we're planning this. And it kind of, you're not having to be in a hotel conference room eating hotel food. We have a villa on the beach, we have housekeepers, we have nannies, the kids can come and you'll have activities, we'll break it up. So that was my goal, was to do like what I call the transition vacation, where you would
Okay.
come, prepare for your life after sports before you retire. And that way you have things aligned so that when you do retire, you're not now having to figure out what's next.
Okay. So is that where the bloom for overseas with ease came, or what was the next transition from that idea to?
Yes, it was, because at that time there wasn't a lot of information about living abroad, especially as a Black person from the US.
Hmm.
So for me, at heart, I'm a systems builder. That's what I do. And so I created a system for transition, but instead of life after sports, it was life after the US.
Yes. Okay.
And so at a heart, it's the same transition system. It's just a different, with this time, it's now focusing on Black women from the States who want to create a new life in the new city. What does that look
Right.
like? What are the steps that you need to do beforehand while you're there? What are the things you need to be aware of and what you can prepare yourself for so that when it happens, you're not like, it's like, oh, I already knew this was going to happen.
So let's talk about those things before we get into the technical aspect of overseas with ease. Let's talk about mental preparation, right? Um, as you know, Black women from the U.S. and the things that we have to deal with here, how would you say what should be the first steps that women who are interested in living overseas take mentally?
Definitely. I say first give yourself a day, just a moment, sit by yourself in a quiet space, get comfortable, and really ask yourself, what is it that I want for my life? Like I myself, like Amber C. Edwards, what do I want? Not what does my mama, my daddy, my school, my friends, like none of that. Really sit with yourself and ask that, whatever it looks like. I've heard it all, seen it all. um, Sit there and marinate in that, because that's the basis of where I help guide you on where to go. Because you need to know, what does my day look like when I first wake up in the morning? What do I see? What do I smell? What do I hear? What do I taste? What do I touch? What do I do? What am I not doing?
Yes,
And think that through, because that's going to be able to determine where's the best place going to be. Um,
yes,
Also, take the time to just give yourself some grace in this. The answer isn't going to be 100%, like nothing ever is. So the plan doesn't have to be 100% perfect, because the plan that you're making when you first move, it's going to shift within the first month that you're there, because something has changed within you. So now
mhm,
you may find yourself at a place where you did all this research for a place, and that place was perfect for who you were at that time.
right,
And then once you go through those shifts, now that place doesn't fit anymore, of course, because you're a different person. So that's why I love my course. You can go through it again, and it's going to point you in a different direction, because your answers have changed. Same questions, but different point in your life, different place to go. So give yourself some grace, go through the flow with it. And the three thing is, please be bored. Like mentally prepare yourself to do nothing. If we can,
yes,
for just like the first month, like let's set it up to where you don't have to work. If it's a vacation situation, maybe you save up some PTO and you're able to
take a
smash it in a
sabbatical.
way.
Yes,
Exactly. But figure out a way to do nothing for your first month, because we are so tired. Black women are exhausted,
mhm,
and we just need a break.
okay,
So figure out a way to be able to rest and go into a location where you can afford to have somebody come in and clean your house once or twice a week. Somebody come in and just cook your meal, so that way you don't have to make those small decisions, and just be. That's it. Just be. Just have nothing on the agenda.
what I hear you saying is mentally, you have to envision, you have to visualize what you want your new life to be using all your senses, using the biggest dreams that you have. Do not take what you're doing now into your next life, right?
Don't you want to leave
Envision,
old baggage back in the States? Don't bring that new baggage with you.
yes, yeah, because why leave? If you're going to bring all the new, if you're going to bring all your baggage, you might as well stay here, right? So envision what you want your new life to be. Secondly, be mutable, be adaptable to change.
Mhm.
That's the second thing. And then third thing is, when you're ready to leave, plan to set up to do nothing for your at least the first month.
Right. Just breathe. That's it.
Just
Just
woosah.
you just got off the plantation, you know?
Yes.
You're not trying to go back to work, you know?
No, not
Like please
immediately. Take some time.
take some time, please, you know?
And
And
whoever you are, you deserve it.
you
I'm
do,
sure
because we're
you've been working since your
tired. Like,
teens.
yo, we do so much. And it's like, just give yourself enough time to not have to do anything, and really see what changes. And, listen, just quiet.
Yes. Yes.
Yes. Yeah.
Okay, so what inspired you? Like what was the passion? How did you become passionate about building something for Black women to leave, building something for Black women to relocate. What is the passion behind this for you? Why is this your passion project?
Ooh, wow. So in my like previous work, I've worked in nonprofits. So I typically work K-5 after school programs. And so one of my things, and even going from there to working with NFL players, like those are the same kids that I work with. Because 84% of the kids that I work with want to be an athlete or a rapper. So
Wow.
these are just the ones that actually made it.
Wow.
So now they have to figure out what's next. And
Right.
so I've always had a passion for giving back. And the reason why I'm so touched to work with Black women and why I still only work pretty much with Black women, like I have some men, but they're in a relationship with the woman who's doing the work.
I mean, because let's
So
face it, we gonna make them come. They're not coming on their own.
it's hard. It's very difficult, but in their own time, you know, when they're ready, we're working on it. It's
Yes.
about representation. They have to continue seeing that it's possible.
Yes.
And so great like you to get to interview people and show them that look, this is possible. It's not just something that the women do, but you can do it as well.
Yes.
But yeah, so, and you know, honestly, because I'm a Black woman, and when I started, again, there was not a lot of information. So this was something that I knew that we wanted to do, especially as going out there and being, you know, a little bit more known for it. People have always, I wanted to do this, and it's like, well, I'm there to help those people because I'm a natural problem solver. So I'm like, okay, if this is something that is a goal, a dream, then we can solve the reasons why you have it. Easy. Now,
Right.
now you can go. Like, it's not my job to convince you to move abroad. It's my job to help you if you want to. And so it's great because it's so specific. Like, I know the nuances of being Black woman traveling from the US and how that is like a different kind of situation that we've kind of never really experienced before. Because it's
Exactly.
like, yes, you're Black, but you're also now American. And that's a whole new can of worms. So understanding the privileges
Yeah.
and the nuances that come with that and how to have those kind of conversations. And so it's just like, oh, I realize that it can be done with ease. So it's like, why not continue to just put this out there so that if you want to do it, you can do it. Ooh, how about outside? And yeah, so like this is just a way for Black women to make it happen because it can and it's very easy. And I don't want us to think that it has to cost a lot of money. Like I moved my second time when I moved to Mexico, I guess that's my third time. I had $800 in the bank, 1,500 credit card, and my business. So like
And a
now I don't have
dream.
kids. I was single. I was
Yes.
going through a divorce at that time. So I needed to be in a place where I could afford to not have to pay so much money for everything. So the city
So where
worked
did you
out.
land?
I was in Mexico. So I went to Merida and Mexico City. I
Okay.
hopped back and forth. I loved the yin and the yang of the jungle with the beach and then like the city with everything kind of vibes to it. So when I was like, oh, I need people, I hopped to Mexico City. I'm like, oh, I need to be by myself. I hopped to Merida.
I think Merida is on my list.
Yeah.
Everybody complains about the heat, but I think this is like my top three thus
I
far.
I don't do the cold, so I would rather be hot
Yes.
all
Yes.
day. I do
I'm like,
not
we
like
are
hot.
African. What are y'all talking about? Like, we are.
Exactly.
What are
Like we
y'all
are
talking about?
inside, y'all. You guys are not outside. And if that's the case, you just make adjustments. Everything opens up very early in the morning, like 5, 6 a.m. So wake up early, get your errands done before 9, and then
Right.
you're in the house for the rest of the day at the pool. Like, stop. What you mean?
Yeah, I haven't been there yet. I think I'm gonna try to get there early next year.
Great.
But yeah, I think that it's in my top five because I do not do cold, but
I don't
everybody
do the
like,
cold.
yeah, at all.
Uh,
Um, so you landed there. You were in Mexico. Tell us the beginnings of Overseas with Ease.
Definitely. So it started back actually when I was in Antigua.
Okay.
I launched the program 4 years ago, right when Donald Trump said, all right, y'all, I lost. And I was like, if y'all are ready to make this move, let me know.
Yes.
And from there, I only worked with 5 families at a time every
Okay.
quarter. because I wanted to make it a bespoke experience. Like it wasn't like about the numbers, but more being able to actually help them move. And it was great. Like I helped a family of 5 with 2 kids move in 4 days. So that
Wow.
was like the
Wow.
fastest. They were ready to go. They mentally they were like, we don't care. We're booked our ticket for Saturday, and it was Monday.
Were
So
they, did
they
they
were
have
from
roots in
they
the
were from
anti?
the UK. They were from London,
Okay.
and they
Wow.
moved to America.
Okay. So that
Yes.
was one of your first success stories.
Exactly. So, and now Tisha, one of the moms, she's a traveling hairstylist. So she goes back between London, Antigua, and now she comes to Mexico City and
Wow.
does hair there as well. Um, and so I've been working on that. So I've been in the last like 4 years, just been figuring out what's the best way to put the program out there, whether
Right.
it's on ones, whether it's the app form. And so I've been just working on the technology and the backside of things as I've been continuing to help people and really hone in on who is my target, like the best audience, like the person that I can help and be the most successful. And so I found that that's either single and solo or with like women with children. So
Okay.
I love that. I've just gotten some dog parents as well, some dog moms. So we've added that to the mix because there are some countries that have restrictions and there's some that
Okay.
it's very easy to move along with your pet. So just depending on, how quick you want to move can determine a lot of things.
Okay. So let's
And
talk about
yeah,
that. Let's talk about the app itself. I'm sorry for interrupting
yes,
you.
not
Talk
about
about the app itself. Um, how do you access it? How did you create the app?
Definitely. So you right now you can access it. You have to apply to join the program. And so one thing I do is I make sure that you fit the vibes. And so everybody has to apply. Everybody gets to chat with me. That way you also can see me and see that I am a real person. You can
Yes.
get a vibe check of me and to see like, is this someone that I actually want to help with my relocation journey? Which is different than just you going online and purchasing a program. So like we're both checking out each other's vibes and
Right.
seeing like, okay, I could see her being in my life for a very long time because I am in your life forever. um, and then at that point you can decide if you want to join the community, which is $50 a month, or if you want to just take the course, which I'm offering for free. So, and this is my just extension for Black women. If you want to make a plan, you just follow the steps. And if you have any questions or you need to bounce some ideas or problem solve, you can schedule some one on one time with me or the experts that we also have. So, let's say you want a remote job and that's the only thing that's stopping you. In the career section, you have a chance to communicate with the remote work specialist or get a new resume done by them as well, so that now we can eliminate the things that have stopped you from moving so that we can get you along on your journey with ease.
Okay. So let's break it down.
Mm-hmm.
What the app is, you apply, right? You pass the vibe check, you start the program.
Mm-hmm.
What does that program look like? What are you teaching the members once they, get over the threshold? What does that program look like?
Definitely. So the program is broken up into 3 sections. The first section is figuring out the best place to go. So this is where I'm learning about you, YOU, what you want, your needs, your desires, your dreams, everything. Then from that point, I'm able to let you know the best country to move to. After we have that, then we are deciding, okay, now we know this is Merida, Mexico is going to be the best for you. Which neighborhood are we going to put you in? Because neighborhoods matter. Neighborhoods matter. And so now we know the neighborhood. So we know what grocery store you're going to. We know what market you're going to. We know how to get around in that neighborhood. So this is where you're going to go to this store. Here's if you need plates, you're going here. If you need a doctor, here's the doctor. Here's how you get there. Here's the contact information. Everything gets very specific to the neighborhood. And then you start to meet people that live there as well. So you start to build community before you even arrive in the city. The third part is the actual move. So once you've gone abroad, we're still in communication and we're making adjustments to the plan as they need. Typically, within the first 48 hours, you'll know if you like it or not. And at that point, we can make adjustments based on what the feels are. So the only actual one, I'm like 98% success rate, was I put them in the wrong island because in their mind, all the islands had fresh fruits and vegetables just growing freely. And that is not the case in the Caribbean. Certain islands do, but every island has their own spirit, their own vibe. So depending on what essence it is that you're looking for, each island on the Caribbean has a place that's respected for that. So if you're going for fresh produce, you're going Dominica, you're going to Belize. If you're looking for spices and herbs, of course, you're going to Grenada. Antigua would be sailing vibes, for example. And I think that's all I can think of right now.
So, okay, so the person who is interested, right? We apply, we get there, we get the modules, the lessons. What do these lessons look like? In step one, figuring out where I want to go, how many lessons is that?
And the first module has 12 lessons.
Got you. Okay.
Mhm.
And
Yes.
then
Second module has 16 lessons.
okay. All
And the
right.
third module has 4 lessons.
And these are self, you take these through by yourself, you get the modules and you go, it takes as long as you take to get through the lessons,
Mhm.
right?
It's a self-paced program. If
Yes.
you want to do it quickly, you can do one lesson per day, and that will take you about 30 days to finish the program. And so that's
Gotcha.
why it's called 30-day blocks it. Because if you wanted to move abroad in 1 month, you would start on the first, and by the 30th, you could be out of the country.
Got you. Okay.
If you need to pace it out a little bit, you can do one lesson per week. And so at that point, each section will take you 1 month. So it would take you about 6 to 7 months to make the move.
Okay. All right. So that's 1, 2, 3 modules. In those modules, you have these lessons that you get through. You can take, it takes as long as it takes. It takes
Mm-hmm.
as long, if you're ready to go in 30 days, you can get through it in 30 days.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. So for the who should apply, who is ready? Yeah, who's if somebody's watching is like, oh, I have a dream, maybe in about 5 years, I want to move. Should they apply? Who is the right candidate?
No. If you want to apply in 5 years, I mean, you can pay $50 a month for the next 5 years if that's on your desire, if that's your plan. But for me, that's why I do the interview process and I decide and I'm able to let you know if it's a good fit because if it's 5 years, then reach out to me in 4 years. You
Yes.
know? Now, if you're in the interview, you're like, I know it's 5 years because that's when I retire. And so I want to go and visit 5 countries and I'm a teacher, so I can only visit the countries in the summertime. So over the next 5 years, every summer, I want to go stay in a place for a month. Okay, now that's a different story. Absolutely.
Gotcha.
So it's if you're ready to start the planning process. So
Gotcha.
it's different. It's not when you want to actually make the move. It's when you want to start planning the move. Maybe you have a financial goal that you want to hit. I need to hit $10,000 saved before I move. Okay, great. Well, we'll go in and look at everything and figure out how long is it going to take for you to hit that goal. Maybe again, that could be a 5 year plan. Okay, perfect. Now we're setting it up. And the same thing is now we know based on what your goals are, we can in different times instead of you going on a normal vacation, now you're going on like a scouting trip where you're staying in Airbnb versus at a hotel and you're going to the grocery store. You're going for 2 or 3 weeks versus a week or a weekend. So you can see the vibes of like, oh yeah, I can see myself living here. And if you once you're like, okay, this is cool, now you start making friends because it's all about community as well. Like you can't find the perfect place with the best beach and you have no friends crying by yourself on the beach because you
Right.
alone. Like you
Right.
need both. You need a place and you need people.
Right. You need the
So
community. That's
you
why they should try to apply. That's why if you're thinking about, and especially, in these days, like you said, when you started, there were no really Black expat groups, right? When you
there was
start.
they were on Facebook, like Black Americans Living Abroad. That's one of the OGs. Facebook groups would be like a really good place to start where you can say like if you Google or Facebook brothers and sisters of or Black expats in, you'll definitely find communities of people there and you can find other stories of people who've done it, some tips and some like vendors and stuff that they use as well. So
And
that's a
get
good starting
research.
place.
You can start your research there.
Mhm.
But once you apply for overseas with ease, that's when you know, okay, this is my plan. I'm ready to take it. I'm ready to take these first steps. Let me start planning, right?
Exactly, exactly. Let's get the ball rolling. And that's what happens. Like we address a lot of the reasons why you haven't moved abroad in that first module. So those first 12 lessons, you're telling me the who, what, when, where, why, and how. And
Right.
so at that point, we're able to address them and solve the problem. And now, next, on to the next one. Thank you.
Right.
Like
So
problem solved.
you're tackling financial hindrances, right? You're
Yeah.
tackling barriers like family naysayers. You're tackling just mental blocks, why you think you can't do it. You're tackling all that in the first module.
Yes.
Second module is what?
Second module is now that we know what you want and you need, I'm able to let you know the best city, the best neighborhoods for you to get that. So
Okay.
sometimes it's only one place, sometimes it's two or three. And so from that point, we're putting together the plan and the itinerary of what it's going to be like when you're going and you're doing your test run. So I'm a firm believer that you should test it out before you hop and sell everything and make the move, because vacationing somewhere is not the same as living there. It's not.
Right.
So you may have had the world's best vacation, absolutely, but living may be completely other end of the spectrum, and you don't want to be sold everything, moved, but did a 1 year lease, sight unseen, and now you hate every moment of it, and now you're still stuck.
And let's spend some time in that first. Let's spend, people, there are people who travel a lot,
Mm-hmm.
right? There's a difference between traveling for 2 weeks and staying somewhere for 2 weeks and living in that place. Let's talk about some of those differences. Um,
Definitely. Let's see. I mean, first, eating food, of course. So your first month abroad, I always say, is going to be your most expensive because you're living like you're a tourist.
yes.
So if you want to see what the top amount of money you're going to spend, go somewhere for 1 month. That's going to give you, and then from there you'll be able to figure out, okay, this I was shopping at the touristy spot, but this is
Hmm.
the local spot that's actually a lot more economical where everybody shops.
Right.
Let me go shop there, and you're going to be like, oh, well, I'm already saving 20, 30, $40 because I'm living amongst the local economy versus the tourist economy. Simple things as transportation. Like, it took me a while to get comfortable living in Mexico to take the colectivo, but when I moved to Puerto Escondido, the Uber was really expensive. They didn't actually have Uber; they only had Didi, which doesn't work for me. Taxis were too expensive, so I was like, all right, well, now I'm gonna take the colectivo. Man, I've been missing out, man. The colectivo is lit. So I'm like, oh, don't even. I will forever be taking this. It's 12 pesos to get. And everyone's always like, what? She's here? And I'm like, yeah, I have conversations with the people. And they're like, ah, all the time. Anyways, oh my goodness, these flies. Um, so little stuff like how to get around, where to eat, where to shop as well. All of that stuff you're going to learn the local way of doing it. And that's where you're going to start to experience things that are more economical, even with housing. So like getting Airbnb is definitely like the easiest thing to do, but it does have a negative impact in the local economy. So once you open your mouth and they hear that you're American or you're foreign, the price goes up. So the sooner you meet local people and have them like maybe reach out on your behalf, that's when you can help do things to like maintain the price point of things. But it takes a while to meet people before you get to that level. So don't be so hard on yourself to like jump in, like ease in, meet people, see if you like the vibes, and then from that point you can decide if you want to start living as a local, because that takes time. Like, it just doesn't come overnight.
Okay, so in the module, when they're going through the program, do they have a chance to meet like different real estate agents or people who can help them find locations?
Yes, they do, especially if that's where they are in their journey. But
Okay.
I find that a lot of the people that are in our program, they're in the beginning stages. So like real estate agent is almost like too far along the line.
Okay.
What like when they're there once, like I have mostly families with kids who are on that journey of like, we need residency so we can do schooling and we can get a place.
Okay.
But the majority of my clients, they are still trying to find the best place to go. So they're only doing the test run. So they don't need a place for a year yet.
I got
They're
you.
still trying to figure out the best neighborhood that fits their vibes, their essence.
Okay.
But
All
yes,
right.
if you go through it round two and you decide I love it, I hear now I'm ready, then yes, that's where those parts come in.
Okay. So we're out of module 2 and we've entered module 3. What is module 3 about?
Module three is now you're moving. So we have a conversation beforehand because in module 2, we know where you're going. We packed you up. So we have a packing lesson as well. What clothes are you needing to bring? How to fold the clothes properly? How to pack your bags? What to bring with you? And now you schedule the call with me. I'm chatting with you. We are going through what it's like going through the airport and through immigration. What kind of things do you need with you along that journey? And we're chatting the whole way. So I know when your flight is. I'm checking in with you to make sure that the driver that we set up ahead of time is there to pick you up, or if you're doing an Uber, that everything is working out, that you have your SIM card already pre-purchased, so it's just a quick boop, boop, and you're connected, or maybe you have a service that the service is already included, so you don't have to worry about changing your cell phone service. And we're connected the whole first week that you're there as well, so we're able to make any adjustments to the plan. And formally, we have conversations that we can have the end of the first day, the end of the first week, and end of the first month. And so by that point, you'll know the feels, you'll know the vibes, and you'll be able to say, this was great, but there's some place else that's going to feel like home, or I love it here, I'm staying for another month. I need to now change my place and stay here longer, or I actually like want to test out this neighborhood instead. So I'm going to stay, but we're going to hop to another place.
Okay, so once that 1 month is over, right? And they want to hop. So if they want to hop to another place and they still want your help, they can still pay the $50 a month.
Yes, they can still pay the $50 a month and get access to the community and the group calls. And if they want to schedule one-on-one calls with me, they can schedule that as well. And it's an hour and a half for $150. And they can schedule as many as though of those as they desire. If there's like something small that they need to help break through, or they're like, yes, Amber, help me find another apartment in this city, great. We'll work on it in that hour and a half and solve that problem. And we're keeping in touch through the app as well. So you can DM me in there. Of course, we have our weekly group calls. So we have a monthly group call with everybody comes in and joins. It's called the family reunion. So it's like, hey, check in. Where are you at? Where are you on this stage? Let us know what's going on. What are some of your wins? What are some of the things that are challenges that you've come out, so we can help you? Talk about your business. Maybe there's somebody else here that can use your services as well. And
Mm-hmm.
how can we come together as a community, because that's what I'm building. It's like a community of
Yes.
like individuals. Like, you're the girl who's like, I need my community, I want to be on a compound, like I want to be with like-minded people.
Yes.
I don't know where they are. I want to move outside the country. Like, you are my girl. Like, I have a remote job, or maybe I need a remote job, or I have a business and I just need to like make little tweaks to it so that I can work remote. Like, that's my girl. Like, you're ready for this vibe. You're a little bit astrology, you're a little bit herbalism, you're a little bit of the woo woo, like very spiritual. Like, that's my girl.
Yes. Okay. So, and no matter what country they end up being, it's still one community. So you have
Exactly.
people in different countries. How many to this? So after that, after the module 3 is over, you're done with the program, but you're not cut loose. You still have this community of women. You're a member now of a new community of expat women or
Absolutely.
families
Oh, I'm sorry.
expat women or families, right?
Exactly. And so that's where this is where you get out the group chat.
Yes.
So in it, we also have a place for events that are going on within the communities. And to be honest, my area that I'm focusing on are the cities that already have the largest communities of Black people from the U.S. as well.
Okay.
So you can go anywhere. Like, I don't discriminate on places. Like, I have a woman who's in Italy. She loved Italy. That's not on the list, but
Okay.
that's where she wants to go, and we still set that up for her. Everything is fine.
So
But
where
for
are the cities that you say have the largest community of expat Black people?
definitely, so that's actually the viral video. But and this is in no particular order, because we're actually like, the data is not that easy to find because
Okay.
everyone's in transit. But with the help of some of the larger Black expat groups, we were able to come up with a pretty good list.
Okay.
And I'm just going from proximity to the US and then around the country as well. So Mexico has quite a few communities, but the largest ones would be like the Tulum, Playa Cancun area, which is
Uh-huh.
more for like I call it the training wheels, like, because you're still very exposed to Black people from the U.S. coming.
Yeah.
But it still is not like a traditional Mexican city kind of
It's
vibe.
like
It's a
it's
little bit more
still
less.
a trend, travel vibe.
Exactly,
Right.
more less than expat vibes, but it's a good
Right.
like starter city.
Mm-hmm.
Merida is great for single and solo women or women with or families with kids as
Okay.
well. Mexico City is great also, which has everything, and it's a very green city as well. So I see everybody with kids to single and solo there doing well. And then, of course, Oaxaca is another one that's growing, and they have other smaller ones like San Miguel de Allende, Querétaro, Lake Chapala, Mazatlan, and there's other smaller communities that are popping up, but those are be the major ones.
Okay.
Now we have Costa Rica, so we have Puerto Viejo, and we have Panama City in Panama, which is great for actually Puerto Viejo is great for like the person who wants to escape and very much into the nature vibes, as well as be in like a more Latin country with people of color, brown, melanated. Panama City is great for like the retiree or anyone that was former military, anyone with pre-existing health conditions as well, because they have access to the U.S. hospital systems. There's also Colombia, so there's Medellin and Cartagena as well. If you want to hop over to the other side of the pond, it hits Lisbon, is very poppin'. I've seen all ranges, again, single solo to families with kids. um, Ghana, Accra as well. Dubai is really good for the business owner and the person that's interested in like enterprise. And then if you're more of a Southeast Asia kind of vibes, we have Thailand, so Chiang Mai, Bangkok, and then Bali, so Ubud as well. And again, this is not the exhaustive list. London is popping, Doha is popping. There's some more places in Africa, Kenya, so Kigali, um, Rwanda is popping as well. So there's other places in other countries, but those 10 that I named are like the ones that have the largest. So that's
So
where I focus.
basically, anywhere, anywhere you want to go, there's a huge
Yes,
black expat population
yes,
in the city. Yeah.
exactly. And also, I will also say with this, every city has various levels of engagement.
Yes.
So just because there's lots of black people there doesn't mean that we're always going to be out there, giving away free information or
Yeah.
hosting you or hosting events. Like sometimes we really like remember when I talked about we are tired,
Yeah.
we didn't do nothing. Sometimes they're
Yes.
tired and don't want to do anything. And
Yeah.
that's where they are on their
And
journey
more
as
required
well.
to. Yes.
But this is a good thing to check with. It's like, what is the vibes there of the black community? If that's something that you're more vivacious and more like, I need to be around other people. If you're more like, I need a break, I need to be alone, then certain places are better for you than others.
And if you're more outgoing, right?
Exactly.
If you're more a person who will go out and find your own community, as opposed to if you need events set up, and if you need coasting out of your house, if you need coasting
Exactly.
out of your new home, right?
Exactly. And so all of those are good questions that I ask in the early on because again, you need to decide what does this look like. Like you're right, I don't need I'm more introverted, so it'll take a lot for me to go out the house, but I'll leave for Thanksgiving and Christmas, Super
Right.
Bowl, big events. Yeah, I'll be out, but outside of that, you ain't gonna see me. Or like, I need a party every weekend. I need to know where the
Right.
bars are. Like, I will invite people out. Like, there are people, there are various levels of it, and I love those people. I attach to those people because I am not one of those people.
Either. And when we went to Portugal, it was a lot of us, right? And it was a lot of events, and they welcome you there, right? So it's you have both things. You have the people, the expat community welcoming you to the area, and you also have the people who the residents there were pretty nice too. Um, so you want to feel welcome. For me, I'm not an introvert. I'm like a more of an ambivert, but you know you have to decide what kind of person, what kind of personality you are, and where you're going to.
Exactly. And again, that may not be the whole time. Your first month there, you may be there to chill and say nothing. And then
Right,
month two, you want to be in the place where it's like, you know what, I'm ready to be seen. So that may be a whole different city to go to as
right.
well. So yeah, give yourself the flexibility because I mean, change is inevitable. So, and you're going to change throughout the process. So, yeah, the person who you were when you moved is gonna shift, and that's what you want as well. You're gonna see like once the stresses start to disappear, who you become, or who not become, but like who is allowed to be.
Yes. So, okay. So at this point, you've helped, have you kept count? How many people, how many families have you helped make the move?
Yes. So people who have gone through the program, we have 75.
Wow.
And so
Wow. A lot of people.
yeah,
I
and I'm
didn't know
like
it was that
okay
many.
about it.
I think the last time we spoke, just a little backstory. I did do a essence piece on overseas with ease, and I don't think that was like what, a year and a half ago.
Mm-hmm.
And so since then, it's been more people. It wasn't 70.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yes. And so then we've had over 200 who like have either done our hour and a half like relocation consultations that we used to have where they have an hour and a half to ask me whatever questions that they want and we're
Wow.
able to break through those as well. So but yeah, with the families, it's about 50 families and about 75 people within the family. So that's adding kids and spouses as well. And then yeah, over 200 people who gotten inquiries and were part of the process. So
Look
I'm very
at you
excited.
out here in these international streets doing God's work. Go ahead.
It's so fun. Like I love when I tell you I love problem solving and like I've done this so many times with this woman, this girl that is my client. Like I can do this in my sleep. It's so easy to me. That's why I was like, it really can be like this is not hard, y'all. Like the hardest part is the mental side, like really just getting out of your head about things that you didn't think that you could do.
Yes.
The financial part would be the other. So like that's where I'm excited because I've added some new things to help more money or shift those financial goals and make them
Okay.
more like attainable so
Okay.
that they can go because if you had the money to move abroad they would. So it's like, okay, well, how can I impact that in a way, because if you have a plan, then let's go. So I'm excited because I hire my students. Like if you go through the program, you do something, like I go back and I hire you guys to come back. Like I've hired VAs, I've hired them to come back to the Lit House and stay and be a host there as well. Cause like you've already gone through the program. So like why wouldn't you, clearly you've sipped the Kool-Aid. So yeah, now you can host other people. Cause there's only one of
Right.
me. Like I
Right.
can be everywhere at the same
Right.
time. So once they go there and they establish themselves in the city, then yeah, they're the host for that city now. So now they can be on the phone calls and offering advice and saying, this is the best neighborhood, here are the best restaurants, because they live there. And it's
Yeah.
way easier for them to build those relationships that since they're already there than for me to have to go and now hop around and build those relationships as well. So,
So you brought it up. Let's talk about the Lit House. Let's
yes.
talk about the Lit House. What is it? What is it? Let's start
Yes.
there.
So it is lit, and but lit stands for local in training, and so that's what we do is we prepare you for life abroad. So you use this as your introductory trip, as your test run, or as a time to rest again and do nothing, because
Hmm.
everything is handled for you while you're there. What we're doing now is we will be opening in those 10 cities that have the largest communities of Black people
Okay.
because the community's already built, the events are there. So, less work. I'm already tapping into the people who have built communities and just placing them where they need to go.
Okay.
And so now we have the guests who have either stayed there or people who are in that city who I call like the OG expatriates, because I like to call us expatigrants, which is like an expat and immigrant, because like we a little bit of both, as being Black and American, it's a little bit of both.
And yes.
And so we bring them on board to be the hosts as well because they've already built community, they're a vibe. So like come in and be paid for being a vibe, host people who want to test out life and see if they could see themselves living there. And that's a 3-week program. So
Okay.
we have it for 23 days. And that's because after 21 days, you create a habit. So we wanted you to be there for an extra day so you can really see what it's like. And then you leave on the 24th day.
Okay.
So
So you said everything is done for you. You come to the Lit
yes.
House. There are other women there. What is everything? What is the everything that's done for you?
So the housing is done. Everything inside the house is covered. I'm even toying with the idea of having a chef included. So where now you get 2 meals a day that are chef prepared. You
Okay.
don't even have to worry about what to eat because that is a struggle. Like you go to a new country, you're like, I don't know what food to eat, and I don't know what restaurants to go to. So we have an itinerary of places for you to go to and a list of restaurants that are ACE approved or they're on the lit list, as I call them, where they know me, they know vibes. You just tell me part of the lit house, they gonna be like, family.
Right. They're
And
vetted. It's already vetted.
exactly, exactly. So you know what places to go, you know what activities that are going on, so you know where to find other Black people, where to find other local people as well. So you also meet my local friends that are there because they're equally, if not more, the homies for real, and get a chance to see other people's perspective in living in the city as well. So you go and you don't have to figure out what activities to do, what to eat, where to eat, who to hang out with. It's all covered, and you can use that time to work from home or just rest as well.
And this is the Lit House. You apply from the Lit House after you complete the first Overseas with Ease program, correct?
Absolutely. So you'll go through the program, which again is still free. And then in that program, we'll know what's the best city for you to move to. And then at that point, we open up the Lit House to you to go because now we know that this is a good place. Like I could put you anywhere and you can pay to go there. But if we already know that it's not going to fit with the things that you're looking for,
Right.
then, it's a vacation, which you can do. But the goal is to get you to be in a place that you're going to best fit.
Okay, so we're going, we are scouting the area in that country. We are figuring out the local places that you will be visiting once you become a resident. You're figuring out the finances, right? The banking there. Let's talk about that. Let's talk about going to the ATM for a second. Yes. What should people never do when they're at the ATM abroad?
Definitely. So here's some pretty easy things. The first thing is I have a strong feeling in my heart. I haven't done the data. I need to, but the language. If you put English, I feel like they charge you more money. So
I
I
think so
can't say
too.
that it's
I
real.
think so too.
I can't say that it's real, but in my heart of hearts, is an easy way because tourists always get taxed, guaranteed. And everyone's gonna find a way to tax you. Like, so don't let anyone tell you tourists don't pay taxes. Yes, we do.
Yes, we do.
We overpay a lot. It's not officially going to the government. It's going more to the hands of the business owner, but we pay a lot of taxes.
Yes.
Okay. So I say first is do it in the language. So and you give yourself time, whip out Google Translate, and it translates it on the phone as well. ChatGPT 4 is really good. Like you can have whole conversations with it, and it can tell you everything that you need for that like $20 a month. So if you move abroad, definitely invest in that. Just
Yes.
makes it easier. But that's number one. But if you just don't want to do it in the language, you can do it in English. And as you get used to it, you'll see the steps and just start to memorize them and be aware. So number two is always decline the conversion. It's gonna ask you if you want to accept or decline. So typically, what they'll do is you put in their local currency how much money you want, and then because it's gonna see and say like, oh, this is a foreign bank. It'll tell you how much it is in your currency, and they're
Right.
going to ask if you want to accept or decline. So in your mind, you're like, oh well, let me accept because I want it to go
Because
through.
you want it. Exactly.
But it's no. It's the conversion. So what happens is if you accept the conversion, it's going to charge you, we'll say in pesos, but it'll charge you in US dollars, and then it changes back to pesos again. So you end up losing money in the money getting
In
from one to
exchange.
another currency in the
Right.
exchange. So now they get you two times.
Right.
Um, you're probably going to have to pay a fee again. So there's like 3 or 4 fees that now you have added to your one simple ATM transaction.
Yes. Please, I
So
hope you are taking notes because when I try to explain this to people, they act like I don't know what I'm talking about.
yes,
Decline the
decline
conversion,
the
people.
conversion. I also tell yourself the first time you go to an ATM, take your time. Because one ATM will charge you, we'll say again in pesos, 174 pesos, which is why I don't use BBVA in Mexico because they're charging you $9,
Wow.
$9 to take your money out, versus Santander, which will charge you 30 pesos, which is $1.50.
Mm-hmm.
So that's another thing is take your time, understand how much the currency is, how much that like the money, because they're going to charge you to take money out. The third or fourth tip would be to get a bank that doesn't charge foreign transaction fees, as well as one that like potentially refunds any ATM fees. So I
Right.
know that Charles Schwab is a really good bank because at the end of the month they'll just drop a credit of however much you spent in ATM fees. I had to remove myself from like the US based banks. So like Bank of America, Chase,
Mm-hmm.
Wells Fargo, they will all charge you because they're like, oh, they from a US, they ain't going abroad.
Mm-hmm.
If you're going abroad, you got that money. So we're gonna charge you some money. So now there's another fee that your bank is charging you 3.5%, which adds up. It adds up if you're there for a month or two or three.
Right.
So
Or if you plan to live there. Yes.
exactly, exactly. And so, especially while you're in that transition from getting a local bank to still using your US bank, it's in a weird spot. One of the good things, though, is also OXO is now coming to the States. So they'll be opening 200 stores.
Oh, I didn't
So
know
if
that.
you are in doing Mexico, it is going to be a little bit easier to transfer money now from your US bank to the Mexican bank as well. So, yeah.
So these are practical things that you learn throughout the 23 days at Lit House.
Yes. So we actually have lessons where, like, in your first few days, we're going to the ATM, we're going to the grocery store. I show you how to go to, if you go to the grocery stores in other countries, the labels are different. How you shop is different. What bags you need to bring and stuff like that are different. So we actually take you to the grocery store. We take you to the market because in some countries you can't touch the produce. They're like, why are you touching our fruits? Like, you let them know, hey, I want this avocado for Thursday, and then we'll give you the avocado that will be ready on
That will
Thursday.
be ready on Thursday. That
Exactly,
I
because
can't
they
do
know
that.
their stuff. Uh,
Right.
so yeah, we take you around. We show you how to use the metro. We show you how to use all the transportation and how to get around in case your phone dies and you can't Uber. Well, it's okay because like Amber told me how to use the train, so I know I can get around. And I only have 25 pesos. Okay, whew, I can make it home. You know
Right.
kind of vibes. And then we take you around to the parties as well. We introduce you to people that live there, to the different restaurants, our favorites, from the locals and from Black people from the States who have started businesses as well.
Okay, so this sounds great. For people who are watching, when are you accepting applications for Overseas with Ease? How do people become a member? How to get started? Give us the deets.
Definitely. So we are just opening up on September 1st. So this is perfect time. And we're only open for the first week of the month because every Saturday we have a group call. So
Okay.
you have an opportunity to join the first week of the month, and we only accept 10 people or 10 families each month. So once we hit that 10, that's it. I don't accept no more. First of all, I want to live overseas with ease also. So
Yeah.
I don't want to work too hard. But
Yes.
also, 10 is a good number as far as like the amount of work, and like you still know that you can get some one-on-one time with me, and there's still some like back end stuff that I need to do as well. um, and we start at each call. So you have the welcome party on the first Saturday, and then the overseas with I'm sorry, the 30-day Black Sit course opens up on that Sunday, and it's
Okay.
automatic. So if you choose the daily, it opens up every day each lesson, and if you choose the weekly, then every week, and you'll get reminded. Oh, the new week is open. Go ahead and put in your, read the information and put in your answers.
Okay. So applications are open Sunday, September 1st, right? And they'll
Yes.
be open for a full week.
For the full week. So you have a chance to apply. You'll get accepted that day or denied that day if you don't
Okay.
even make it to the round of the interviews. And then you schedule your time to call that week and then you join. So this is for the person who's ready to go. This is not the I'll do some research. No, it's we are moving forward. We start on Saturday. We have different lessons that we're going through. We have different things that I know that are going to stop you. We just go ahead and address them from the beginning. I learn more about you, and we start the process because the election is in November and the turnover is in January. The inauguration's in January, y'all.
Okay.
So just saying, New Year's
So
Eve coming up.
you want to get your application. She only accepts 10 people. You want to get your app. They open this Sunday. Applications open Sunday the 1st. You have a full week to get that in, and then classes start that following Saturday,
Yes.
right?
Yep. We start on the 7th. You get to meet everybody else that's joining, and then the program opens on Sunday, so you can start planning your move on that first week. And if you want to be gone in 30 days, you will be out of the country in October.
Okay, so if they miss September, if they miss the first week in September, when will the next application process? When you be taking applications the next?
Great question. On October 1st.
October 1st. All
Yep.
right. Okay. Okay. Um future. So do you have plans? What are the next lit house plans? After that, where is your next lit house? Where is that going to be? What country is that going to be in?
So I actually haven't dropped those dates yet, but they will be
Okay, okay.
dropping in
I
September.
was trying to get an exclusive.
Yes, yes. But I will say that am opening it up to all of the cities,
Okay,
but again, it's only me, so I will not
okay,
be at all the cities for the first go round.
I got
But I can say that I will be in Mexico City in February for
you. Okay,
sure. 100%. That's my favorite time to be in Mexico City. It's art week. It's lit. Like it's the best time to go. So I will absolutely.
I might come in February.
It's the all the galleries are open, so you can just go in between. They all have free cocktails. You just walk around, drink, mingle, talk to people, look at art, look at beautiful people,
Okay,
party. It's just like it's a vibe, and the weather is really good also. So, yes, I can definitely say that I will be there in February. I will be in Panama also
okay,
in the spring. So that one's going to be announced very soon as
okay,
well. So I'll be doing a partnership over there. And I would love to go to Chiang Mai. Honestly, I've been feeling called to Southeast Asia. So
okay,
I would love to go to Thailand in the end of the year. And then I'm definitely going to be in Lisbon for at least 1 month this summer for
okay.
2025. So I will do my European summer. So I can say that for sure.
All right, those are the plans. If someone is watching now, how can they apply? Where should they go to? We're going to put this information under the video as well, but tell the people how to apply.
Yes. So right now everything is on Instagram until September 1st. So check out Instagram. That would be Overseas with Ease. And in the bio, you can click the link to apply. If you send me a DM, I can have a chat with you and send it to you there as well. Everything
Hmm.
is very personal. You're chatting with me. So yes, I can, and I'm a voice message person. So you're probably going to get a voice note from me as well.
Me too.
But yeah, so send us a message on Instagram and we will happily send you the link to apply.
Okay, she doesn't mean send her a DM. She means hit the link in her bio to
Both,
schedule. Oh, you accept
both.
DM?
I
Okay.
do. I'm very much in the DMs because a lot of people are nervous about this move or they don't
Okay.
want other people to know as well because they know they got some haters in their group. So the my DMs are popping.
Okay. All
Yeah.
right. So we will put that information under here. Amber, is there anything that you want to talk about that we have not addressed today?
Um, I mean, the only thing we can do is chat about you and your overseas journey and how you get
That,
suitable so they can
that's
see.
a private conversation. That's a
Well,
private.
that's why we're here. We got to see so they can see a little bit of how I work, so we can get comfortable. Like, we gonna see how. Because you talked about Merida being on the list, but like, are there any other countries that have piqued your interest?
I need to be close. I need to be a hop, skip, and jump away from here. Um, I'm thinking about Medellin, somewhere in Colombia.
Love that. So, what draws you to Colombia?
So basically, to get here, see, and I don't tell people my business, but I had I had a my astro, what is it called? The
Astrocartology,
yes,
which we have in our course, by the way.
yes. And she told me my Venus line, my love line, went straight through to Medellin.
Love that.
That's what she said. So
Okay.
it was on my list because it's close. It's not Mexico. I'm not you know, I'm not sold on Mexico. So when
Hmm.
she said Medellin, I said, "Oh, okay." And so yeah, that's why. That's why it's on my list.
Yes. No, like I said, we have astrocartology. That's one of the first like 4 lessons. Is if that's what you want
Ah,
to do, we have
let's
astrocartology that we
go.
with because it's like we getting all the help that we can get. Okay.
Yes, yes, yes.
Yes.
And she also said, like, my creative, my writing career will be good there. So
Great.
yeah,
That's
yeah,
good. Okay, so then in my mind, like, okay, based on the things, the few things that you said that you wanted, proximity, of course, Mexico. Like Mexico
yeah,
hits lots of boxes because they have so many different options. Like, do I want mountains? Do I want rivers? Do I want lakes? Do I want beach? Like,
right,
you got it all: hot, cold, mid range, everything.
right.
And proximity is there. Like the closer you are to Mexico City or Cancun, you can get anywhere in the world. Like within
Hmm.
a like you can book your flight that day and
Right,
be there and go on one airline to go to where you need to go. So especially
right.
people with aging parents who want to move abroad but they don't want to be too far. Mexico, especially if you're in the south, is a 1 to 2 hours flight
Yeah,
away. So that could work. And Medellin isn't too far either. It's like a good 4 or 5 hours. So that's not too bad. It's
yeah.
not like
And
as
my jumping off point would be Atlanta, so I know I can get there quickly.
okay, perfect. So
Hmm.
this the good thing is knowing that you now look at the flights and you can go and see the different flight patterns that they have and know that like, okay, if there is an emergency and I need to leave
Right,
today, I can go right now and look Medellin to Atlanta and see how much that costs and know that in my bank account I need that plus a little bit extra for like transportation, housing, food and all that. But that's how much I need minimum in my bank. If I just
right,
need to hop a flight today, anything happens regardless. It could be positive too. It could be, oh, I gotta have a speaking arrangement and I need to leave. Great, I have enough money to do so.
right.
Um, okay, well then I mean
And
we started
affordability. I mean,
there.
yeah, listen, when I did go to Portugal, because I was like, what is it? Everybody's trying to move to Portugal. When I got there, I was like, oh, that's just, I get it, but that's a little far. And I think by the time I get over there, like it's gonna be, we'll another day we'll have a conversation about expats in other countries and how it's changing the countries that we are going to.
Definitely.
Um,
Which is why I'm very big on community.
yeah, yeah, yeah,
Yes.
yeah.
You go if you
Um,
were overseas with ease, you know better. And when you know
right,
better. So and I feel like if they knew better, they would do better.
right,
Right.
right. Well,
So
that's another because we're running up on an hour. That's another conversation for another day. I'll have you back.
yes,
We'll talk
yes,
about once you're there, once you are a resident in another country, how to carry yourself.
exactly. Exactly. But yeah, honestly for you, like the only question would be like what would your vision for your life be that first month in your new country? Is it like a more relaxing or are you going
That's
there?
all I do. I don't want listen. I relax now. I'm in the U.S. I haven't listen. I
Okay, so then
now, so
no
I
to
ain't going nowhere to
Merida.
struggle. No.
No to Merida then, because you're going there to chill. Like they have a community, but you're not. It's not popping like that.
Ah, okay.
Um, if you want that in Mexico, you can go to Mexico City and easily get that. You're just not going to be by the water. But Medellin's in the mountains, so is Mexico City. And my favorite beach is an hour flight
Yeah,
away. It's like
yeah.
$25 on Viva.
Okay.
Um, so yeah, you can definitely that's gonna give you the vibes for like the party scenes for both. So I would say either Mexico City or Medellin, and start there. Give yourself a month there, and before you even go, start reaching out to people so you can build community and just figure out what events and stuff are going on. Because I want to. I like to dance to disco music, so like I
Yeah.
need to have some type of queer LGBTQ drag queen scene.
Yes.
So I already know ahead of time that's what I'm looking for because I just
Right.
like. So I like to play chess also, and I'm starting to get more into my chess playing. So that's something that I'm looking for in my new cities. Like, where is there? Who plays chess around here? Let's hang out,
I just
and
need
go
to know
there.
where to eat. I need to know where to eat, where to go eat, and where to chill. I go out, but I'm a chill person.
Yes.
So yeah,
And
yeah,
so I love that. And this would be great. So you definitely can join the app. Well, because the place of where to chill, where to go, the who, what, when, where's, we have all that listed because we have gathered that data already.
gotcha.
So it's as simple as you type in like, hey, I'm coming to Medellin this weekend. Are there any, Afro beats parties or any R&B parties that are going on that I need to know about? And then you'll get that response of what's happening. So now you have an idea of what to do beforehand, and now you can, set that itinerary and not have to worry about it.
All right. So you hear everything. I tried to ask all the questions I thought you all would have. If you have more questions, please reach out to Amber C. Edwards. I will contact put her information below this video. You can find her on Instagram. We will also we'll follow up probably when before the end of the year.
Perfect.
Maybe the next year we'll follow up
Maybe
with
around
you.
election time.
Yeah. Yes, yes. When you're opening another application, again, applications open on Sunday, September 1st. They open for a week. She's only taking 10 members for this first round. If you miss that, you'll have to wait until October to apply. But if this is your dream, if you are ready, if you have been thinking about, if you have done your research, if you have been thinking about leaving the US for another country, this is the time. This is your sign to get started. And I want to thank you again, ma'am. I want to thank you for coming again. If you like this video, if you like this content, if you are thinking about moving overseas, if you are thinking about traveling more, this is the place you want to be. Please subscribe, like, and share this video for those who are like minded. Women of the African diaspora, Black, Brown, and Indigenous women. These are the people that I want to inspire. These are the people, these are the women who Amber works with to change your life.
Love that
Yay!
so much. I'm so excited to have had a chance to chat with you again and hopefully to have inspired some women to make that leap and know that people are there with you. So you don't have to do it by yourself. The
Yes.
community's there. Like we're not doing things alone anymore. Like we're that is the
You're not
old way.
creating the wheel. Yes, you're
Exactly.
just joining the community. All
Exactly.
right. So hit her up. Amber, stay on while we end this. I'll talk to you guys soon.
Bye.